What's the fastest way you've seen someone ruin their life? 1. I had a friend years back, always kind of an odd guy, but he had a good heart. Anyway, one day I was hanging out with him and a few other friends, and he told us he was going to get a tattoo the next day. He said he had this super cool idea but wouldn't tell us what it was because he wanted it to be a surprise. We saw him about a week later. He had tattooed 3/4 of his face green. No design or anything, just solid dark forest green. Basically, he left the top right quarter of his face normal, and the rest was all green. He was immediately fired from his job the day after getting the tattoo. I kind of lost touch with him shortly after that, as he moved to another city. I heard he ended up living in his car. I have no idea why he did it. He had a very good job in IT at a pretty big company and was making decent money. No clue why he thought permanently turning 3/4 of his face green would be super awesome. 2. Dropped out of a very good college with a full scholarship, which his family could never have afforded otherwise, after 3 years because of a World of Warcraft obsession. 3. When I lived in Vegas, I saw all these people come in and bet it all on black, then lose. The stare of disbelief as they realized their mortgage was gone and they had to explain that to whomever they had left at home was unforgettable. 4. In the Air Force, this new guy joins and goes out to a bar, then decides to drive home. He gets a DUI. He loses all his rank, has to pay a ton in fines, but leadership fought for him, and he was allowed to stay in the Air Force. 2 months later, as he's paying off tons of lawyer and legal fees, he does something really stupid, drives home from the same bar drunk and gets arrested again. This time, he loses his license and gets kicked out of the military. He loses all his income while he's thousands of dollars in debt. That's not even the worst part. A few months later, he celebrates being a civilian again by, you guessed it, going to the same bar, then driving home drunk. He gets arrested and put in jail for a while. I can't imagine he has many future career opportunities with a less than honorable discharge and an arrest record. 5. A new guy at a factory celebrated finally finding a job by having a drink at the bar next door during lunch. He got fired after just 4 hours of work. 6. I knew a guy when I was younger. He was a stud tight end in high school and college but had a partying problem. He had pro stats, size, speed, etc. He got a tryout in the NFL. Flew to town, went out partying, and never woke up in time for the tryout. He showed up half a day late, and they wouldn't let him in. He flew home and now does mortgages, working like the rest of us. 7. A really good friend of mine in college was still living with his parents and had this absolute ditz of a girlfriend who also lived with him at his parents' house. They were both 19 at the time and decided to try for a baby, even though neither of them had jobs or their own place. They also didn't tell his parents beforehand, wanting it to be a surprise, genuinely thinking it would make each other and their parents so happy. Now she's left him, and he's still living with his parents, working at Wendy's while his parents take care of his daughter. All of his income goes toward helping care for her. 8. That woman who called the cops on the birdwatching gentleman in Central Park. That video lasted a minute or so, and I'm pretty sure she will never get as good a job as she had ever again.